What's up, everybody? Time for another Out of This World story from rSpace. My 40-plus male wife, 30-plus female, had an affair with a female coworker. 6 months after D-Day and attempted a reconciliation, she tells me her affair partner is also going on a weekend getaway as I dropped her off at the airport. Despite claiming she wants reconciliation, she just went away on a weekend trip with the affair partner and some other coworkers, only mentioning the affair partner was going as I dropped her off at the airport. D-Day was 6 months ago this week. I wasn't suspicious in the least, but accidentally saw a text message that caused me to look at another message, which revealed that my wife was having an affair with a female coworker. She claims it never went further than sexting, but the texts reference physical acts. Giving her the benefit of the doubt, we'll call it an emotional affair. She was also having problems with drinking. She was apologetic when she got caught and agreed to go to counseling and do whatever it took to make things work. I went to counseling too, and was attempting reconciliation. We both grew up Mormon and left the church a few years back, but because of that experience, we are both a bit messed up as to what is acceptable and normal in a relationship and with alcohol, etc. That makes this doubly hard. I was raised to think homosexuality was wrong, but have changed and don't have a problem with it. I do have a bit of a problem when my wife decides to cheat on me by having an affair with a woman. Both of us want to make things work for the kids. At least, that is what we say. We both came from divorced parents and wanted our kids to not have that. Cutting off her affair partner or coworker was not really possible given the circumstances. I asked her to not be involved with her outside of work. She agreed. She also cut back on drinking and going out. She said that she was open and willing to do whatever. Gradually, I noticed that she was still being sneaky from time to time. After I caught her and confronted her, she no longer texted regularly with the affair partner on text messages. Instead, she went to Snapchat, where I could see she was the most recent message, but couldn't see what was shared. Last month, I go to help her with her phone, and she snatched it away nervously when a notification sound went off, and I saw it was Snap from the affair partner. She said they just chat casually about work stuff. On a weekend? Yeah, right. She assures me nothing is going on. I think it is more that her affair partner is not willing to leave her marriage, and so my wife doesn't really have an option. I repeated again that I would prefer she not be involved with her. Last weekend, I went out with her to a COVID-safe outdoor work event. She drank heavily, and afterwards convinced me to go somewhere else with a group that included her affair partner. I pretended to be okay and went along with it, including an awkward interaction with the affair partner. Driving home, a very drunk wife, she talked about how good and loyal I was, and then proceeded to tell me the perfect person for me was someone else we knew. She said that she still wanted to make it work. She also told me for the first time that she had told a parent and sibling of hers about what she had done. Yesterday, she told one of my siblings what she had done, without telling me first, and, I think, knowing that it would piss me off. She had a semi-valid excuse for why, but didn't think it was bad until I said, "What if I called up another one of your siblings and told?" Today, I was driving her to the airport. She's going for a weekend away with some coworkers. She previously named 2 people that were not a affair partner, and I was okay with it. As we were pulling up to drop her off, I asked where she is staying, and she describes a different place than what she told me originally. I said, "Why did it change?" She said it just didn't work out. I said, "So who is going? X and Y?" She says, "Yeah. Oh, and the affair partner." I lost it and called her an effing B-word. I took her to the drop, and we talked for a couple minutes. She tried to gaslight me and said we talked about this. I told you. I said, "No, you didn't," and I know she knows we didn't by the way she disclosed it to me. She promises that nothing is happening between them, and I said I don't know that, and I have no reason to trust you. She tells me she doesn't love the affair partner. She just liked the friendship and got caught up in it. Also, said that the affair partner doesn't want to destroy her own marriage. I told her that she needed to figure out what she wants out of life, and she says I want this in our family. I said your decision doesn't reflect that. I told her to take the weekend to think about it. After I left, she called to apologize and said she should have been honest with me and that she doesn't know why she's being like this. She offered to stay home. I told her no, she should go and have fun and think about if that is what you want. She said, "You should do the same." I said, "I know what I want. I'm not the one that went and had an affair. I'm still here despite what you've done." I said you really need to think about the consequences, reminding her that divorce is expensive. I said I'm not saying that to threaten you, just to say that you should know I won't be taken advantage of in that situation, She knows that financially, we are stronger together. It has been 6 months, and this is the closest I have been to calling it quits. I know some will see that as the best option. Others may not. I wanted reconciliation and knew that it wouldn't be easy, but she is making it even harder. Based on what I've written, I'm guessing most of you can see the writing on the wall better than I can. She is probably done, right? Should I keep trying? Is there anything to salvage, or just cut my losses and stop the status quo? Am I stupid? Well, community, he's asking. Let him have it. Black 2108 starts us off. Dude, I'm going to be blunt as possible because you have literally done everything wrong. Your wife is a cheater and a liar. She will never stop having sex with this woman. You just gave your wife permission to spend a sex marathon weekend with her affair partner. After this weekend, I don't think your wife will have any more respect for you and will know that she can walk all over you and still keep her family. When she comes back, she will lie to your face and say she wants to stay married to you and will not see her affair partner anymore. But she will continue to see her affair partner while stringing you along. What you should have done when you first found out about her cheating was to let the other woman's spouse know so they could help keep them apart. Then, you should have told her she needs to be looking for another job because there's no way she can keep working with her affair partner. Then, you should have let her know that she needs to go to therapy to figure out her issues and why she decided to cheat. Also, she should have informed her that you guys would be having an open device policy moving forward. Your wife has really played you like a fiddle, and I fear she will play you for the rest of your marriage. She has no intentions of not having this woman in her life, and you don't seem to have the backbone to enforce boundaries. What person knowingly gives their partner permission to spend a weekend with the affair partner and then expects an honest relationship when they return? This is a new one for me. I've never heard of anyone doing this before. Our next response comes from Seemed Like Fun. This is on you. She has no reason to change, because you are all noise and no action. Sorry to be so harsh, but you have done nothing to change her assessment of you as not deserving her respect. Encouraging her to take a trip with coworkers who obviously knew what was going on? Come on, man. Alright, OP, what do you have to say for yourself? Thank you for all the responses. It's not easy to hear, but obviously I need to hear it. I didn't share every detail, obviously. There are other factors at play that I had to consider. Let's just say last year was a rough year for everyone, and we were no exception. All of this was on top of that rough year. I'm not going to make excuses for her. She does that on her own. But there were stressors at play that most people would cut her a little slack. She doesn't deserve as much slack as I have given her, though. That's for sure. I don't know what I can do. Her affair partner talked to me shortly after D-Day and said her husband knew. Based on the messages I saw and knowing my wife, I know my wife is the problem when pushing things. The coworker could cause a lot of problems for my wife, and it's not in my financial interest either way, stay or go, to have her job situation disturbed. She cannot leave her job. The affair partner recently started working elsewhere, but that clearly did not end things. MeWhirl, you get the last comment. You can leave her. Period. She is playing you like a chump because you complain but do nothing. As long as you refuse to enforce severe consequences for her behavior, this will continue indefinitely. Frankly, I would have made sure when she landed that she had a text message waiting that you would need to talk over the divorce when she gets back. Instead, she is with her lover right now on a vacation you approved of. Sorry, I'm really not trying to be mean, but this comment is 100% correct. You have approved of her cheating and now have to live with a one-sided open relationship. I think he gets the point. Let's move on to the next story. How do you leave when you're tied down with a ball and chain? Husband, 44, has cheated several times in our 18-year marriage. I, 37, could not find a way out. I was a young mother at 19. He was about 26. Looked for a job the moment my son started school while he worked at a security agency. When we got back together a year after the first D-Day, I found out he kept his affair partner on the side even when I got pregnant with our second child. We now work for the same company and live in the company's housing facilities in a different city, supposedly to start over. But I keep finding out that he's still up to his tricks and cheating. His cheating is out of hand, but he pretends that everything is okay, especially with the kids. He refuses to talk about it and denies that it even is a problem. I know much better now about him and our doomed relationship, but as the title says, I'm tied down. We've accumulated loans over time, and both our salaries are hardly enough to make ends meet. Also, it's a direct deduction from my salary, so I technically can't resign until loans are paid off, which is 3 years. With the pandemic, it's running 4 years now. Tried kicking him out of the house countless times, but he keeps coming back in a couple of days or so. And I couldn't make a scene because we live in a company housing and I need my job. Kids have settled in their schools and moving is currently out of the question because of the pandemic, but mostly because I can't afford to. House is also tiny, so it's hard to avoid him. He keeps making his empty promises, of course also shifting the blame, and the usual tactics. I really don't feel his sincerity, and I have circumstantial evidence of his continued cheating. He also lies a lot, even about money. He acts like nothing's wrong and insists that the issues are only in my head and that I should be happy. I often feel lost and helpless, wallowing in self-pity. It may look like we're working it out, but I know he's lying and keeping secrets. I just don't know how I'm going to leave without causing more trouble for my kids or my job. Let's round this story out with a couple quick comments from the community. ThickFudge5412 thinks, "Are you saying that you've gone to a lawyer and looked at all the options to split the loans and debts, and that it is impossible to live a separate life? At the very least, you should get a lawyer to write up a separation agreement so even if you're in the same home, you can start to split out your earnings and work to an exit strategy. I would also get a financial advisor to then look at how best to pay off your loans and other commitments as part of your exit strategy. Do not settle for this life. I realize it can look like there's no way out, but there is. Sometimes we need some help to find it. You deserve better than to live like this. You need to have hope, goals, and the belief that you deserve a better life so that you can move on and leave your husband in the past. You can change your life. Stay strong and focused and get some support that will help you find a way out." OP, what do you have to say for yourself? I appreciate your encouragement, and I am taking baby steps. I have loans on my account. He has on his too. What I did was not allow any further restructuring on the debts in my account, and try to get him to pay for everything else. He is keeping it tight though. I use what little I have left on me and to put myself to college. I hope to graduate at about the same time my debts are paid off. By then, I can find a better paying job, hopefully with a different company.